Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 181 of the GenGaming podcast. I'm your host as always, I am Tyler. And joining me, we have shit... Oh, Justin's not here.
You just said we had shit.
Well, Justin's not here, but don't worry, we have Jake. Ah, shit, Jake's not here either. Oh, crap. Oh, well, we have Gables. Gables here, that's good. How are you, buddy?
Oh man, I'm doing excellent. Finally done with that fucking work weekend. I am ready to sleep.
Yes, that sounds amazing. I'm drinking a beer though, so that's pretty good. And then a solid night's sleep sounds pretty fantastic too.
Oh yeah, it does.
I'm gonna take a drink of beer right now. That's good beer. Yeah, no, I almost had to work Saturday. Today's Friday, but I dodged a bullet there. Don't have to.
Man, I always hated working Saturdays.
Saturday sucks.
Yeah.
I hate work Saturday. It's overtime, so that's nice. But
yeah, in the meantime, kids, if you ever get a job, aim for a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Weekends suck.
Yeah, working weekends suck. Especially when you work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And then
Exactly.
You gotta work Saturday. Yeah. Oh, money, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of important, I guess. But, oh my god, I almost closed that link. Oh. Whew. Sorry. Before the show started, Gables made my life 20 times better by informing me there is a video of a man riding a unicycle in the snow in Portland, Oregon, playing the Game of Thrones theme song with a bagpipe that shoots flames out of it. I didn't know I wanted to see this, but I'm happy I live in a world where I am able to watch this at any point in time in my life. So thank you.
You're welcome.
If you ever thought down on humanity, that's kind of all you need for evidence that it's not all bad, guys. It's not all bad. But I watched a little bit of it before the show. I'm gonna watch the rest and probably 50 more times after the show. But anyways, yeah, Justin's not here. He had to work late tonight and he has to work tomorrow, so he is hopefully getting some sleep. Jake, we don't really know what Jake is. Probably playing Skyrim on PS4.
Probably.
Kind of what his thing is. He hasn't been on the show since then, but he bought Skyrim on the PS4, and pretty much whenever I hop online, he's online playing Skyrim. So it's kind of his jam now. Sorry, taking a drink. I got this beer called Lucky Bastard.
Ah.
It's pretty good. Excuse me. But anyways.
Sounds like the Lucky Bastard got a little one-up on you.
Yeah. Anyways, this is a video game podcast where we talk about video games, mostly. So let's do that. I think we
awesome.
Do we want to go news first? There's a lot of news. Or do we want to go games first? What we've been playing? What news?
Let's do the news.
All right,
we have a lot of it, and it was substantial last Saturday.
Yes. So we talked about last week. We had the Video Game Awards. We were going to talk about that. But we recorded before the PSX, PlayStation Experience.
Oh, yeah.
It's third annual one. Happened Saturday afternoon, morning for Gables. And I'm just going to kind of go through everything that happened. I put links in. I wrote everything down as fast. I was typing as fast as I could, and I could barely keep up.
You were always so diligent with this stuff too, because it was like, okay, let's go ahead and do my bit. You're just actually typing things out like a journalist, like you gotta.
Yeah. So I was typing it out, and then I also later on had to go back after that and find links to all these videos that were shown. So everything has links in it. So, anyways, because I didn't want Jake to be upset with me, so I put links and everything. But he's not here to enjoy them. It's bullshit.
He tells you to put links on the thing, and then weeks that he's not there, it's like he doesn't even see it.
Bastard. But anyways, starting off the show. It's about an hour long. They announced I guess what I heard was 40 games, not announced, but they showed off 40 games in like 63 minutes or however long it was. So pretty fast paced. When some of these like were about 6-7 minutes, some of these were 6-7 minutes long, and the rest were quick.
Yeah.
Went up. Anyways, started off kind of big. Uncharted Lost Legacy trailer. First time announced, it's going to be. I think this is part of the season pass for Uncharted 4. It's going to be a standalone DLC. It sounds like it's going to be multiple chapters or multiple DLC experiences or whatever you want to call them. That's happened. I think I said Uncharted Lost Legacy. You're going to play as. Her name just escaped me.
Chloe,
thank you. The girl from Uncharted 2. She was kind of like the love interest for the beginning of Uncharted 2, and then kind of that didn't happen. And then she wasn't in Uncharted 3, I don't believe, or she was in it for a little bit, maybe.
A little bit. Yeah, it was a little bit, but like Cutter, I think, was there for most of the part.
Oh, yes, that's right. She was there at the beginning with Cutter. You were right. And then she was not in Uncharted 4, and I guess some people were upset about it. There's some Chloe fans out there. And I thought she's an okay character, but she is going to be the kind of the focal character of these new this new Lost Legacy experience going on. Also, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was leaked out there. It's pretty much a for sure thing going to happen before the event. So that's going to be Marvel vs. Capcom 4 technically. Also, they announced Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is out now on PS4. They also announced a Wipeout Omega Collection, which is I think 3 Wipeout games being remade or remastered for the PS4 and Vita. Summer 2017 for that. They announced in their last year for Destiny. They announced the racing thing. They came back this year with the event called The Dawning. Starts December 13th and it goes until I think early January. And it looks like they're kind of their holiday Christmas event. And they also brought back the racing. Next up, Crash Bandicoot Insane is what it's called. It's the original 3 Crash Bandicoot games for the PlayStation. Being remade, technically the only 3 that matter. Being remade for the PS4. It's coming out sometime in 2017. I got some gameplay footage of that. Also, new Resident Evil 7 trailer came out with finally some story in it and a little more gameplay shown. And a new demo came out and is out now on PS4 and it was PSVR. You can use the VR headset for that. Next up, Parappa the Rapper 20th anniversary trailer was shown off. They are remaking that game for the PS4 and I think Vita. Also, along with that, Loco Roco and Patapon are coming too, and that's all coming in 2017. Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, another trailer for that. It was announced last year, and then we haven't heard anything since until this past Saturday. So there's another trailer for that dropping, or it did drop. I think that game is. I think they said 2017 for that.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, all right. I couldn't remember if I saw that or not. There is 2 Yakuza games they showed trailers for. Yakuza Kiwami, I think. I believe that is it's a remaster of the original Yakuza game, and that's coming this coming summer. And then Yakuza 6 is finally coming over to the United States, North America, in early 2018. And then Danganronpa V3 is coming to Vita and PS4 in 2017. Ys, I believe is how you say it. Origin? Ys.
It's called Ys.
Ys. Oh, okay. That's weird. I know. Just spell it like that.
I know it's kind of a weird pronunciation of it, but it's pronounced Ys.
Okay, but Ys Origin is coming in 2017. I think that is a remaster of the original game that's coming to Vita and PS4. Dreadnought coming in 2017. It's like a ship battling game. I don't really know much about it. Pyre is coming from the Super Giant Games, I believe how you say it was the name of the company.
Yep.
They made Bastion. It's kind of the big one. They showed a trailer for that. That's coming in 2017. Vane, trailer for that. Absolver, trailer for that. What Remains of Edith Finch. Next, Machina. Let It Die is out now for free on PS4. It is a free-to-play roguelike game. That's out now. All the other stuff that they announced, they talked about that is out now. Is Mother Russia Bleeds, Goru, Mark of the Wolves, and then that Lara Croft Go is also all out now for PS4, and some of those are for Vita. Windjammers is coming in 2017 to Vita and PS4. Kind of a big shocker. The Giant Bomb people, I imagine, are very happy about that. and David Lang. Star Blood Arena is coming to PSVR. That's coming in the springtime. Neo, I think is they call that game. That has come. They showed another trailer off for that. That is a platinum game. I think that comes in early 2017. There's also going to be a retro mode for MLB The Show this coming year. It's supposed to look like the King Griffey baseball game from the Super Nintendo. And then Horizon Zero Dawn got a new trailer for that. And then the big finale was Last of Us Part 2 was confirmed. So a lot of stuff happened. Some big, some small, some quick. They spent a lot of time on. Kind of what was your overall thoughts of the show, and what were some of the things you're most excited about, or you don't really, some of the things that are just kind of clunkers to you?
A couple things I noticed right off the bat is they had a heavy emphasis on their first-party games, which has been something they've been critically panned on for the remainder of 2016, even the most since Uncharted 4 released May of this past year and stuff. It has been sorely lackluster in terms of first-party things, other than maybe at the select few. The latest one being The Last Guardian. But the other thing that struck me as most interesting that I felt add to the quality of the thing is they are still talking about the PlayStation Vita and various games that they can still play on it. It's not directly just Vita only and stuff like that. I mean, because they've pretty much quit doing just making original PlayStation Vita games specifically for the device Sony have, but they are porting different types, the different games across from the PS4 to the Vita itself, not trying to alienate fans of specific types of games. For example, Danganronpa V3, that was heavily started on the PlayStation Vita, the first two games. I'm happy that the third one is coming, and it's going to be awesome. I know it's going to be awesome. I felt the overall feel of the show was great. It was positive. There were plenty of great things. There were little smudgings of the PlayStation VR stuff, which, you know what, I'm just be perfectly honest, I'm not really warm to VR. But at the same time, I'm glad that it wasn't the focal point of what they were doing.
Yeah.
But, let's see. I know my overall thoughts were good, but other things I'm really excited about. I mean, I'm really excited about, the Uncharted stuff. I mean, the whole trailer at the beginning of the game, yeah, that was fascinating because it starts out, I immediately, when I saw, the lady, Chloe, hold up that cell phone or something while she's still covered and stuff, I knew by the way it looked, that was Uncharted. And I was just watching, it's how the hell are they going to do this here? This looks almost vastly different in type of atmosphere in terms of, Uncharted 4. I mean, you had your great moments here and there. You had your set piece moments too, but it felt different in terms of execution and in terms of play. You know how Drake is all goofy and this and that and stuff like that, sort of comedic with some of his timings, but Chloe's a bit more serious in that sort of tone. She's not going to take too much without kicking the shit out of somebody or something like that. But I like that whole scene in the end of the trailer. It's her and Nadine are just kicking the shit out of these guards and stuff.
Yeah, that definitely looked pretty cool. I'm happy that they are. I don't want any more Nathan Drake the way Uncharted 4 finished up. I am happy with that way that whole character ended. So I'm happy, and I want more. I want I want my cake and eat it too kind of thing. I want more Uncharted, but I don't want any more Nathan Drake. So I'm happy if this is the way we're going to continue on. If it's going to continue on with Chloe or a brand new character altogether, or if we stick more with Sam, I am totally cool with that. And,
that'd be interesting.
This is kind of the new way. Maybe if we get a bunch of smaller, I'd love this if we just got small 2-3 hour adventures from these characters, and we got 1 or 2 a year. That'd be definitely pretty cool to see continue on that way.
But I will say though, once the trailer stuff for the gameplay for Crash Bandicoot actually went on, I actually really enjoyed what they were doing with the gameplay and stuff, because it is basically classic Crash Bandicoot, but it just looks awesome. because it's all HDMI and stuff. It's like the game has like never really aged at all with their freaking like remaster of it. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I love the additions here of Loco Roco and Patapon. That was a surprise. PS4 ports of both of those games, along with Parappa the Rapper. Let's see. I've already talked about that. Easy to care about. Oh, but isn't there like something that we forgot to say about? No, probably one of the most like important things. Wasn't The Last of Us 2?
Yeah,
like,
I mentioned it at the end.
Oh, okay. The Last of Us 2. Yeah, that was chilling. That trailer, because. Yeah. That's the thing. It opens up this vast thing, and all the crowd is like excited. It's like, oh my god, is it? And all of a sudden, they just see Ellie. They start just fucking applauding and shit. That is something that legendary trailers are made of. And it's like the whole scene plays perfectly. She's singing her song and stuff like that. You pan out, you see all these dead bodies just surrounding her in this. It looks like her old room from like her house. And then all of a sudden you see Joel appear and stuff, like walk into that whole scenery of that scene, it's just, it was memorable. And honestly, it made me kind of excited about The Last of Us Part 2,
Yeah. That is, kind of jumping on that, like, that is, I'm kind of, there's some people upset about there being a Last of Us 2 with those characters.
That's understandable. The way Last of Us ended, I can understand how people feel frustrated with it.
Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, I want, it's kind of the same with Uncharted. I want more of Last of Us, but I'm not done with those characters. If they were to make a Last of Us Part 2 and it was just different characters and they just kind of if they just made a bunch of Last of Us games and it was just different characters every time, same quality, they're just as good or close to as the original Last of Us, I'd be happy with that. But
I think the problem with how that would pan out is they would have to create new characters pretty much, because there's not too many like other characters from that previous game and stuff that could really dive into other than Joel and Ellie that much. Yeah,
and I understand why they're going back to those two, and I'm not gonna complain about it.
Oh no,
really, I love those characters. I think it was like my 6th or 7th favorite game of all time when we did our list in August.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler alert for that. I am definitely. I was ecstatic. Like it was like the worst kept secret in gaming over the last year or so.
Yeah.
That this game was being made, and we probably won't see this. It's like a Death Stranding kind of thing where we're probably not going to see it for, I would bet, 2018 at the earliest. More than likely 19.
We will not see that until like another year or so, and even then it'll be an announcement trailer for 2019 at most, probably. Yeah.
So, but just the fact it's being made and it's confirmed now makes me extremely happy. So I am happy to go back in that world, especially with those characters.
So what were your overall thoughts of like this PlayStation experience?
I loved it. I think last year's was okay. What Remember was talking about a little bit.
Yeah.
The first year's was pretty good. I thought there was parts in the old ones where it was just kind of some stuff that just wasn't hitting with people. Like they would go on for a very long time with something. It was kind of almost like they tried to make it like a mini E3 where it was just like, we're going to spend 5-6 minutes talking about each of these things, or like here's a couple of quick things and we're going to talk 5-6 minutes about this, a couple quick things, 5 or 6 minutes about this. With this one, it felt like to me like it was just like it was just rapid pace. Like I said, I think 40 games were shown off in a little over an hour.
Yeah.
And so even like the things you loved, you didn't have enough time to absorb them or really even like feel them until they're on to the next thing. Or like even if there was something I didn't care about or something I wasn't interested in, I wasn't bored because it was like the next second, boom, here's 2 more games.
There's 2 more games that you may be interested in.
Yes.
I like that rapid fire pace though.
Yeah, I would. As much as I look forward to E3s, I would love it if it like the fact that there's like 5 press conferences and 4 of them are an hour and a half to 2 hours long drives me nuts. And if they're more like this, I would be happy with it. I like these things. It's kind of like like Nintendo has their directs. This is kind of their direct. They just have one a year and they just show off a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
And I like this a lot. And obviously this is a 3rd one, so I assume this is gonna be a thing. And I hope they keep doing it. And I I think they found a really good formula, and I hope they keep doing it. But kind of jumping into the game part, some of the stuff that was actually shown off. Like I already talked about Uncharted. I am definitely in for that. I'm going to be picking that up as soon as they release it. Crash Bandicoot. I am a huge fan of Crash Bandicoot. At least back in the day. I mean, it could be all nostalgia at this point, but
I only played through I really played through like Crash 3 on the PlayStation. That's about it.
I don't really remember much of Crash 3. I don't know if I might have played it. I might not have actually.
Oh, I remember it because the disc that I had at the time, I played through it, and there's like a part you had to play on the motorcycle and stuff like that. Yeah. But it kept freezing at that particular point, so I would not be able to get that particular crystal unless I had to use the Game Shark in order to get through it.
Huh. Wow, that would suck. Don't miss those days. But with Crash Bandicoot, I love Warped. I beat that game multiple times, and I remember playing a little bit of the first one. The Warped's really the one for me that I loved. Yeah, I'm happy. I'll probably pick that up as soon as it comes out too. New Resident Evil 7 trailer. That's starting to look pretty good still. Didn't play the demo yet. I think I'm just gonna hold off until the game comes out. Got like 6 weeks till it's out, so I'll be more than gladly wait to play that. Justin, I think, played the VR demo. So fortunately, he's not here this week to talk about, but I'm sure we'll talk about next week. Some other stuff that we talked about. Pyre, the Supergiant Games people, that game looks really cool. I pretty much trust anything they're going to do. It's kind of a weird jump off from where normally they do the kind of like the top down, more story driven kind of adventure games. So this is kind of very different for them, being a multiplayer, more like 3 versus 3 multiplayer game. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that. Danganronpa 3. I'm happy it got announced. But 1 and 2's coming to PS4 in early, I think in January.
I think so.
Already got that pre-order, by the way. So I am excited to play those games finally after listening to Gabe talk about it.
Get ready to be invested in those stories because they're fucked up and crazy.
Oh man, just listening to you talk about it, I almost. There's been a few moments where I was looking at a Vita like on sale, and it's like. Tempted. It's tempted.
You get that at fucking $60 or something for both of those games together, and it's like
yeah. There's been a few times I'm like, God damn, I might have to do that. So I'm happy that that's coming, and then also a third one's coming. So I'll have 3 fucking Danganronpa games to play in 2017.
There you go.
So I'm happy with that. Really, that's pretty much it for me on those. It's got the stuff that I'm personally interested in. The rest of the stuff, I don't really know enough about, or I'm not really interested in to really to delve deep into more than that. So I overall, like I said, good show. Wasn't bored. I left fully satisfied, wanting more, which is kind of usually how you want to leave them. So yeah, overall, I thought a fantastic show. Kind of moving on to some let's move on to some other stuff real quick. Have you watched the Tonight Show stuff with Nintendo?
Yep.
All right, awesome. So we're going to talk about that then. I didn't know if you did or not. So Reggie Fils-Aimé was, I think it's
Fils-Aimé.
Fils-Aimé. What the fuck? Get a normal last name, some bitch.
Reggie Chickafita.
I'm gonna call him Reggie Anime. All right.
Reggie Anime.
That's his name now. Reggie Anime was on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. I think Wednesday night, and he. Went on there. Shigeru Miyamoto was there too, playing some Mario music with the Roots, which is pretty cool.
That's fucking funny as shit, but I love it.
Yeah. So they showed off a level of Super Mario Run that's coming out. Whoa, shit! Next Thursday.
Yeah.
And also, kind of a big surprise, they showed off the Switch. Never actually been shown off in person before, and so they did that. Had a little couple-minute long demo of Breath of the Wild. What would you overall think of the show and the kind of presentation and everything?
I think that it was kind of interesting seeing how Jimmy Fallon's reaction was to each individual fucking thing of the Nintendo Switch and stuff like that. I thought the segment in general was far too short because it was only maybe 5 minutes that they had max to showcase. Super Mario Runner, and then Super Mario Run in the Switch in and of itself, which meant 5 minutes were devoted Well, like a couple minutes were devoted like to each game and stuff. Jimmy like went through one level of the thing, and it looks pretty damn fun. I thought the Super Mario Run game,
Yeah,
and oh god, it makes me really want to try to get a fucking iPhone and then just go and just play the shit out of this game. That just divulge the $10. Is like, okay, take my money. I'm gonna play this shit.
Do you have an iPod Touch? I think you might be able to play it on there.
Oh. My iPod Touch, for the most part, has a very bad cracked screen, and I don't want to play any games on it.
Understandable. Damn.
But what was really interesting is seeing Nintendo Switch, like the way it was presented and how easy it actually is to go forth and play a game, like just by switching between the dock and the actual system itself. You know, Reggie just basically seemed like it was very easy. Just slide the Joy-Con controllers off the stick, off the freaking pad, onto the system itself, carry it, and just Jimmy was just like playing the game just like that and stuff. And I thought it was really, I thought that was a very good marketing strategy by them to get it to as many people as possible, to as many eyes, because a lot of the general public, they don't know what the fuck the Nintendo Switch is. So just seeing this on an actual talk show, like, considering how Fallon is with video games on his show and stuff, he's the only talk show host that really actually goes in depth with.
Yeah, and he is a well-known, huge video game fan, especially Nintendo, actually.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He keeps a NES, an actual original Nintendo in his office.
That's fucking funny. But I like that. But I thought that it could have been better. I thought that the segments and stuff could have been better, the way things were presented. And he only had he's playing Zelda, he only had about 5 minutes just to play a bit of the Zelda. Like, at least a few minutes.
It was more like a minute, because he was too busy freaking out about the fact the Switch was there.
Yeah. Which, honestly, that would have been an honest reaction by any one of us if we were placed in the same scenario, pretty much.
I would have...
placed in the spot, you probably would have shit your pants and then just tried to play.
I would have gave oral sex to both Reggie and Shigeru at the same time.
Oh. But it was okay. We did learn that the Switch looks fancy and it looks as seamless as they're advertising it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I thought overall the show, I thought it was cool kind of a thing. Like, we didn't know the Switch was going to be there. I figured I thought it was safe to assume that it was going to be a Super Mario Run thing. I think a lot of people did.
Yep.
And I like what I saw of it. They already got my $10. Just kind of waiting on it to come out now at this point for that. But as far as the Switch goes, it was definitely cool to see. Actually see it in person, and it might not be the final model, but seeing the actual handheld part of it, how thin it was, looked kind of cool. It actually looks like the original the Wii U gamepad and the original video they showed off for it, because in the original one it was like super thin, and this one actually it looks just like that. It looks like they took that model that they didn't end up using and then made the Switch out of it. So that was kind of cool to actually kind of see finally see the real sides of it.
I know. It really felt like a super thin tablet and stuff like that that's not that big, but at the same point you can actually just transfer it along with you, because it has to be portable as well. And I'm just kind of interested in seeing how this is going to go. Yeah.
Agreed. It was, overall, I liked the segment quite a bit. And I'm excited. January 12th. Cannot get here soon enough.
Yeah, he actually confirmed then and there that there's going to be more information on it on January 12th.
Yep. So it's gonna be a long month, next month or so, waiting for that news to come out.
Yeah.
But moving on, there is this one, another rumor about Nintendo actually. Sounds like it's all but confirmed, and it's because it's coming from multiple gaming sites that Gamecube games are going to be available via Virtual Console for the Nintendo Switch.
Huh.
And it sounds like, I don't know if it's going to be at launch, but it's going to be fairly close to launch. Like Animal Crossing being out there, Super Smash Brothers, Melee, Super Mario Sunshine, and a few others being available. Oh, Double Dash is another one I saw. Kind of the big key ones. Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin, all going to be available for the Switch at some point at least. And also it looks like it sounds like they might be able to use. There's talks they might let you use the GameCube controller adapter for the Wii. We all own for the not we all own people own for the Wii U. We had for the Smash Brothers game. So
well, that would be more than welcome. That's for sure.
Yeah, I hope if
if they do, get ready for people buying that fucking adapter in mass again and try to inflate the price.
Yeah, yeah, it's probably gonna happen.
Considering since one of the games in and of itself for the Virtual Console ports is rumored to be Super Smash Bros. Melee, a hyper-competitive fucking game that people have been playing off and on since 2001. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, that's a good point, too, actually, with that, because Melee is still a big game in the esports genre, and people are, bringing GameCubes around to still play the game, or Wii's to play the game, and you have this new console out there that you're trying to sell, and Nintendo doesn't desperately need them, but as to be taken seriously again as a console maker, they want more eyeballs on this. So if they can use this as a way for more people to see the Switch and see that, oh shit, like this is the Nintendo thing, and this is cool. I could play my old GameCube games on here or whatever. This makes a hell of a lot of sense to do it. So I hope, just from that standpoint, that I hope they do it, and just for the fact that there's a lot of GameCube games out there that are pretty freaking sweet that I would like to play again on, sometime here soon without having to play or pay outrageous prices for GameCube games, because GameCube games are fucking expensive. They're like almost as expensive as they were when they came out 15 years ago. So
oh shit, yeah, I know, right?
The GameCube is the cheapest part about the whole thing. Buying the console is the easy part. Everything else sucks. It's very expensive. And plus, Nintendo games, right? They never drop in damn price, so
they never drop in price, and as soon as you can get them for the lowest price possible, somehow, like almost on clockwork, 5-10 years after the console's like out of production, their price of their games inflate a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, they're obviously not making any money off this because it's all secondhand stuff. But
sooner or later, we're going to be talking about Wii games and stuff that are fucking through the roof. That you guys, like a lot of you guys, didn't freaking invest upon.
Yeah,
when they're like 10 or like, well, they look like a couple bucks or something for some of the best ones.
Yeah. The only thing that sucks about the whole Virtual Console thing is I hope they have the same, like the games I bought on my Wii U, Virtual Console wise, I can bring over to the Switch, because I do not feel like paying for these games for a third generation in a row. Even though it's a few bucks, but just having them consistently buying them, and plus if you bought them on the 3DS, you have to buy them again. I hope that is not the case, but the GameCube part doesn't bother me just because we never had them before.
That's just the thing, though. If they do something similar where we have to buy our games all over again or something like that, I'm always sticking to the fucking GameCube games because that's the only interesting part of the Virtual Console things I'm actually interested in.
Yeah, anymore at this point. Yeah, I mean, I hope they do a better job with the Virtual Console than they did with the Wii U, because there's a lot of stuff that they didn't put on either of these that they on the Virtual Console for 3DS and the Wii U that they didn't do, and the fact they put the DS games on the Wii U or not the 3DS just still baffles me.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, sometimes Nintendo drives you nuts. The easy decision is not always the decision they make. So hopefully, I hope this is the case. But moving on to some games we've been playing. Actually, we're talking about all the stuff that's coming out next year and in the future. Let's talk about the shit that's happening now. Gables, what have you been playing this week, buddy?
Well, whatever I've had the time for when I'm in the middle of work and stuff. I've been popping up a lot of, I went back a little bit to Pokemon Sun because I wanted to try to attempt to try what they're calling the SOS battling thing to try to get a shiny Pokemon. So basically, what SOS battles are in Pokemon Sun and Moon is there are times when you face a wild Pokemon, and if you get it down to, low health, like at the little red bar and stuff, it'll sometimes call for help. Basically, it'll have another one of its species or some other random Pokemon come and join him to try to fight you and stuff because it's in danger and it's really just wants the extra help. So what the SOS battling chain does is every time that a Pokemon like appears through this SOS method, it's supposed to like add 1 to this chain and stuff. So each time you go through and defeat a Pokemon, another one pops up. And it's supposed to be like another add +1 to the chain and stuff. So apparently if you get like a chain of like 40 or 50 Pokemon or something in a row, it'll be higher of a chance that you'll encounter a shiny Pokemon through this SOS battling stuff. Now the problem with this method is there is a lot of room for error. And when I mean a lot of room, I really mean just you becoming a little bit bored by trying to do this thing over again and again, plus maybe you want to try a different method if, say, you don't, if you really value just want to get a shiny Pokemon, you know. But this is the experience I had. I tried doing this SOS shiny stuff 5 separate times. Each time I've done a little bit of mistakes here and there that end up costing me like 10 or 15 minutes of my time that I really wish I could have had back. But, oh god, it was just always the smallest things. Like I'd lose, like I would pay attention to the battle somewhat, but all of a sudden after my 60th or 70th chain or something like that, I'd lose my concentration or something, or accidentally switch to a Pokemon that has fucking Flame Body, which burns the Pokemon and then just kills it right then and there. or the good one, the last time I tried to attempt it and stuff, all the members of my party, they wasted all of their moves, but yet I still had not found a shiny Pokemon yet because I had no fucking Lepa Berries in order to replenish my fucking power points. Everybody in my party. And I ended up killing the damn Pokemon that I wanted to capture. I was trying to capture a shiny Alolan Diglett because I wanted to. And, yeah, it was just fucking frustrating in and of itself. So I went back after those failed attempts to do something more traditional, what I did with X and Y, and that was hatching for shiny Pokemon. And basically, I'd use the same Matsuda method as you can in other Pokemon games past, where you take one of, like, the region that you're in, like, say, the United States, and then you get it with another different type of Pokemon that's, like, from a different like region, like Japan or China or Korea or whatsoever. It can happen just as long as you have 2 Pokemon of different regions breeding with one another. So I have my Pokemon Turtonator and a little Pokemon from Gen 5 called Dino or whatever the hell. It's basically a dark dragon type that sort of looks like kind of looks like a fucking blue dinosaur with fur, with black fur. And so basically I've been hatching eggs. I got up to about 70, 80 something eggs, and all the extra ones of those Pokemon that I've not been needing, I've been putting them up for Wonder Trade. Nice. As I did in X and Y, and I am very happy with some of the results so far. Now, granted, this game has barely been out for a month, so there are a bunch of people that have found a way to EV train a lot of their Pokemon and do the whole hatching method for competitive stuff, because I have been getting so many awesome different types of Pokemon. Now here's a little mini spoiler here. You don't gain access to a specific thing at the end of the game where it allows you to upgrade your PC so you'll be able to see the actual IV values, and they are rated in tiers and stuff like that, like Abysmal being the lowest, and then the best, the highest rated thing will say best. And so, I've gotten a slew of different Pokemon where they have had relatively superior potential, which is like the best you could possibly do, where some of them have 4 or 5 perfect IVs, and the only reason why they're up for Wonder Trade to begin with is because maybe one stat or something they didn't have like 5 IVs in, or maybe it's like, for instance, like a Salandit, which can only evolve if you have a female version of it, which good luck with that, because that's a fucking chore and a half to try to find those as a female. It's just little things like that kind of piss me off about trying to go through the process of trying to get what I want to get done in Pokemon Sun and Moon. But at the same time, because Game Freak keeping the Wonder Trade function in. I've never actually have had to release a single Pokemon in order to go through and like make room for my PC. So I've gotten a couple starters. I've gotten at least 3 or 4 Rowlets. I've gotten a Litten. I've actually gotten a fucking Totodile.
Oh, nice.
I've actually gotten a Totodile. I've gotten the Alolan Vulpix, the Alolan Sandshrew. I've gotten all these different types of Pokemon that I didn't even get a chance to catch during the regular game, like Delmise, which is basically a fucking ghost grass type that's like an anchor that you can only find by fishing in a particular spot in like a water town or something like that. Oh man, but other than that, that's the best part of the online thing so far that I've experienced, is going through Wonder Trading and not knowing what you get. All of this is like due in large part to me just trying to get a shiny dino via the Matsuda method by breeding and doing this and doing that. I think I'm now up to about 80-something eggs hatched. And the last time
Holy shit.
You may think that's a lot, but at the same point, it doesn't take too long to hatch eggs or even go through and have them be ready for you to pick up. In X and Y, it was quite a bit. You know, it took about maybe 10 or 15 minutes to hatch in the whole set of eggs or something like that. It now takes like roughly 5 minutes, especially if you have like a Pokemon that has Flame Body or Magma Armor or whatsoever. So the process of going through and hatching these Pokemon, it's really easy now. I mean, really easy, really fast. Everything is much more suited to competitive play, to where you can actually go through, and if you want to learn about getting into competitive battling, it's sort of an easier process to understand than how it was in, say, Generation 4, where you had to manually go through, check up guides, going through exactly what I did, and figure, oh, okay, this Pokemon has this EV value of 1, or this one has EV value of 2, or something like that. And I gotta grind on this trainer that has fucking 5 Magikarps because it has 1 speed EV apiece, and keep doing that. And like, there's still portions where you have to study things in order to get better at it. I've still not even done EV training, technically, in this game. But so far, it's like some of the stuff that they have that you can do for this option-wise, I mean, it's really deep, complex, and I'm still having a lot of fun just going through, just experimenting on what's new or what's, like, good about it. But, yeah, other than that, I've been basically just playing more Pokemon Sun.
Well, that's nice, though. At least I'm glad you're enjoying it. Definitely getting your money's worth out of those 2 games.
Oh, no shit. How about you, man? Sounds like you've been playing a bit.
Yeah, so I thought about last week. I played a shit ton of games, and I just kind of mainly focused on the ones I either beat or I was done playing with. So this week, I want to talk about some of the stuff that I either wasn't ready to talk about yet, or just wanted to wait on. First thing first, want to mention Last Guardian is out.
Yeah,
in my hands.
Yeah.
I am putting my hand on my beautiful Last Guardian statue. I bought the collector's edition. It is so beautiful.
And I'll let you know he only cried for 20 minutes.
18.
Yeah,
so I got the Last Guardian collector edition. I'm going to talk about it next week because I've only played it for a couple hours.
Okay.
And I've waited 9 years to play this game. So I'm going to wait a week to talk about it. But goddamn, it is a wonderful statue. Can I just go hug? I'm gonna hug it. No. Oh my god! Damn it! It's beautiful. But anyways, played a couple other games. I want to talk about first. One game I forgot to mention when we were talking about Black Friday deals we picked up on. I don't think I mentioned it. Battleborn. I picked it up for I think $13 on Amazon.
Yep.
It's kind of a game some people on Talking Ship are pushing for a while now to play. And
fun fact. Battleborn was like the fucking game that I saw at Walmart today. It was like $10.
Sure. Oh, I guess you don't have PS4 anymore. Never mind.
Nope.
So you should have picked it up because it's actually a pretty good game. We played it, I think, last weekend or a couple weekends ago, for 4 or 5 hours each night.
Oh my god!
Playing through it, it's actually a lot of fun. I'll admit, It's a game that you kind of want to play with friends, but it is the brink. It is like the brink of this generation, where it's a highly underrated game. It's kind of it's got some Overwatchness to it as far as I'll say it gets a. It's not a fair comparison to try to compare those two games together. Overwatch and Battleborn, where like really the one big thing they have in common is the MOBA parts of it, where it's just like a bunch of different characters with their own abilities, and you pick those characters. And the art style is fairly similar, but as far as the actual game goes, it's quite different. Where this one is there is some multiplayer bits to it, which is not very fun. We played a couple matches of that, but for the most part, the main part of it is there's an actual story campaign, and you're teaming up together up to 5 friends can play together, and you're just going through and trying. It's a normal game where you're just trying. There's objectives to do, like kill a wave of enemies or protect these people to get to this area.
Wait, you can actually play like a 5-player co-op game for single player?
Yeah, it's really the majority of the game.
That's fucking cool, actually.
Yeah, I played a little bit I played like one mission by myself, and it's okay. It's fine that way. It's a fun game that way, but it's definitely always, playing games with friends is always better. It's always better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a solid game. I think that coming out when it did in early May, when a couple weeks before Overwatch, and then around the same time as Uncharted 4 and Doom.
It should have never released during that time.
Yeah, and I guess there was a big patch that came out in like early June of this year, like about a month after the game came out, that fixed a lot of things and made the game a lot better. The one downside though is when you're playing with people that we replayed some missions multiple times, and I've talked to people about it and just listened to other people talk about the game. When you're playing online with random people, it kind of sucks because there's not a lot of people playing this game online right now, and the people you're playing with, it's kind of like you're playing this game. It's kind of got that Destiny to it, where it's like you're playing this game with people that have played this mission 20 fucking times, so they're just going to the area. They're just kind of going through the motions. There's no discovery anymore, or trying to figure out strategies or what to do. It's just like you know what to do. It's like you know exactly who's going to spawn, what's going to do, how many people are going to be there, what to do, every little tiny bit, and it's just that part seems sucky. But playing with friends or playing by yourself, it's fine for that. So I think it's a thumbs up. It's cheap now. You can find it probably easily right now for $120. I would say if you got at least one friend to play with, definitely pick it up. I'll say this: Jake hates this game. Played with him for a little bit. He jumped to our party for a little bit, and he did not. He was very upset about this game. So
okay, now I want to buy it.
Yeah, now he will be. He'll buy it on the Xbox One to play with you, I'm sure. Yeah, no, he was not a big fan. But another game, Pokemon Moon. I mentioned last week. I only had at that point put a couple more hours since the previous time I talked about it.
Yeah.
About 12 hours in, I'm literally at the final trial, like about to face like I guess the boss of the second island.
You haven't spent a lot of time like catching Pokemon, have you?
No, I'm not really. I'm not really. I'm just I'm catching the ones that I'm interested in. I actually want to put in my party.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, I'm done some grinding here and there. I got a pretty solid 6, I think. I got Miltank.
You got a Miltank in your party?
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Get that rollout going. Oh, it destroys everything. Got Miltank, Chikorita, Bayleaf.
Okay.
Whatever Linton is when it evolves.
Torracat, I think you like her.
Yeah, I think Torracat. I think you're right. Greninja. Oh my god, I'm spacing some here. Shit, I got that. What's this? Toucan Sand, whatever you want to call it.
Toucanon.
Toucanon, and I'm totally spacing my last one, and it's bugging me now. Pikachu.
Oh, you want to know what's funny is that's my nickname of my Toucanon, Toucan Sam.
That's what I wanted. It's the only way I remember his name is by the way you named it. So I got that as my 6. I got a pretty good. As far as I could pretty much battle anybody and have an advantage. But I want to play this game all the time. Like I'm like, oh man, I'll play some Pokemon. And I play it, and I play it for like 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm kind of done playing Pokemon for right now. And that's kind of been my experience with it. Is that like I always want to play it, but when I play it, I kind of don't want to play it. And it's the thing where like this is a great game. It's an amazing game, and I'm not gonna I don't have anything negative to say about it. I'm not like one person. I know some people. I've seen people online talking about it. They're not big fans of the trials, and they kind of want the gym battles.
I kind of like them because it's like it feels fresh, it feels different, and not like so monotonous like you would in the older games where it's like, okay, beat 8 gym leaders, beat the Elite 4, beat the champion. Okay, you beat the game. You know, insert random enemy team.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with you on that. I mean, there's obviously some things that are they've made some big changes, but they've kept a lot of the things that have been around since the first one.
Yes,
which I'm fine with, and I'm totally cool with going away from the gym battle stuff. At first, I didn't know if I wanted to, but I'm not sure if the trials thing is something I want to play for the next 20 years. But
no, I think it's just going to be exclusive just for this generation. So
yeah, as far as that whole thing goes, I think I've done like 7 trials now. I think there's like 14 or something, 14 or 16. So as far as I think there's like 7 grand trials and there's like 7 smaller ones or something.
So
like that.
Let's see, like what island are you on right now?
I am about to do the final trial of the second island.
Oh, okay. Well, the final trial of the second island. Oh, okay. When it gets into the third island and stuff, things are going to really get interesting.
Yeah. I'm not done with this game, but it's just not a game I'm like... It's so weird to me. Like,
I totally understand where you're coming from for that perspective. It's like you want to play this game, you want to enjoy it, but it feels so... The game feels so good in terms of like what it executes right that you just feel like, okay, I've had enough of this just for this brief period. You want to enjoy it in bite-sized chunks, pretty much.
Yeah, and I think part of it though is that it's like I'm wondering how much of this like my love for this game is nostalgia and it's actually the game. Like I've talked about before, like I'm not it breaks my heart, but I don't like RPG like turn-based RPGs, really RPGs in general, like Japanese ones or anything like that anymore. Like, and I've tried really hard to like those games and play those games. Like Bravely Default, I put like 50 hours in that game, and I think I really only enjoyed like 15 of those. But I really wanted. I kept playing through it, and I picked up Pokemon Ruby. I think Ruby. I can't remember which one I got.
Omega Ruby or something.
Yeah, I think it was Omega Ruby a couple years ago when they remade it for 3DS, and I put like 6 hours into it. I'm like, I'm not really feeling this. And I put it down, and I went back to it a couple times. I tried playing through it. I ended up getting like 14, 15 hours in. I'm like, I'm kind of done with it.
To be perfectly honest, that game was sort of grind heavy in terms of like things, especially X and Y as well in some parts.
Yeah, but I loved X and Y, and I think I'm wondering if it's just like the nostalgia for me with Pokemon only carries me so far. With X and Y, I hadn't played a Pokemon game in like 14 years, and
that also plays a part right there because it's like you are a lot of the things you're basing things off of are the nostalgia things you felt back when you were playing Red, Blue, and Yellow, and some bit of Gold and Silver, probably.
Yeah, but that's kind of where I played all 6 of those games in the beginning, and I went away from them after that, after second generation, and
that's a difference too. That's probably plays into a large part of why like you want to enjoy them as they are, because I think it is sort of like nostalgia based. So why you want to, because it takes you back to when you were like 12 or 13 and you wanted to play a little bit of Pokemon or something like that in the middle of class or something like that, or not exactly in the middle of class, but no, that's not like me.
Yeah,
but when the difference is between you and I when it comes to enjoying these Pokemon games is, yeah, you haven't really played too much since like X and Y. You know, like X and Y, your first time back in around 14 years, whereas myself, I've been continuously playing like the Pokemon games ever since they first came out. Every generation, I've played those games.
Yeah, and yeah, it's like they're great games, and I want to get stuck to them. I want to be into them like you are, man. Like I want to like just do everything like I used to when I was a kid, and I think, and I don't. When I sit there and do that, I'm like, I don't really want to do that. Like, I'm enjoying battling with these Pokemon. I've got my core people that I care about. Like, I don't have that back. I remember going through Red, Blue, and Yellow. I had I went out and I tried to catch all the Pokemon. I did, and I think I got to like 130 somewhere.
I'm very glad to say that I've done that multiple times. The last time I attempted it was a couple years ago, and I got every fucking single Pokemon in Omega Ruby. 720 something Pokemon, which that was fucking insane to get all that shit.
Yeah, no, that would never happen. I couldn't do it with one that was 150. I couldn't imagine doing it with, we're close to 800 now.
I actually did do it with 151, but that's just me.
Damn. But yeah, I mean, it's a great game. I'm gonna keep playing it because I do enjoy parts of it. I do like the trial stuff. It does seem pretty cool. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm keep playing it. I like it. I'm just wondering how much at this point is it nostalgia and me enjoying the game. I'll probably figure it out somewhere along the line as I keep playing this game. Next up, I played we talked about last week. Talked about the VGAs with Ryan when they won his speech when they won That Dragon's Cancer.
Yeah,
they won the award for most inspirational game. I believe is what it was. Kind of inspired me to go and finally got a PC that can actually not do anything crazy, but I can actually boot up a game on Steam. And when I looked, it was on sale for I think $8. Picked that up and I played through That Dragon's Cancer, and it's about an hour and a half or so, and it's kind of an interactive story where there really isn't any gameplay. There is some parts to it that are gameplay, but this is kind of the journey is. People don't know, maybe not heard last week or don't really know the full story of it. That Dragon Cancer is based off of not really a true story, but it's based off a true experience that this family went through. Ryan, I believe, I can't remember his wife's name. It's bugging me right now. I think it starts with an M. But anyways, going through an experience where they have 4 boys. One of them he has cancer, and he gets it when he's super young. He was a few months old, and it goes through the whole story of kind of him dealing with it, going through chemotherapy, and kind of up until his passing in 2014 when he was just 5 years old. And it just kind of it's just hard to talk about because I'll admit I cried like 6 times playing this game, like snot bubbles and tears rolling down the eyes and everything. It's a very powerful game, and it's not a fun game to play. It is a horrible game, not a horrible game, but it's just
it leaves you with a horrible feeling because it just stirs up different types of emotions that may play in large part to how you felt like in certain particular moments of your life or whatsoever. It was just totally, the game in and of itself is totally based upon like the experience of this one man, and in doing so it has affected a lot of other different people in terms of their feeling as well. So it's that powerful.
But it's just the way that this game is told. It's like a lot of it is kind of like just listening to the family talk. Like it's going through like Ryan and him like doubting. They're very religious people. The family is super religious. And it talks a lot about God and religion, and not in an overbearing way. I am not a religious person at all, and it didn't bother me in any bit whatsoever. But it just kind of talks about how, like Ryan's questioning his faith and doubting his faith and his religion, and his wife, more so than ever, is like clinging to her faith, trying to find answers and a light, something to bring any positive energy at all. And the way it's just kind of told, and it's just that's kind of the whole game. And like it's told a lot through like I guess like metaphors, where it's just like there's this scene where Ryan and his wife are talking to the doctors, and it's when he finds out that the tumor is malignant and he's not gonna. He's got just a few weeks to maybe a couple months to live. And as they're going through this whole experience, the room fills with water, and it's just like almost like they're drowning kind of experience. And it's just like it cuts to like his wife in a boat, and like a lifeboat, saying. And Ryan's like is just like paddling, trying to stay above water, and she's like, just get in the lifeboat, it'll be fine. And he's he's paddling for his life, and he's saying, "Just let me feel this. Just let me feel this." And it's just a lot of that. And there's just scenes where like I forget the kid's name. It's pissing me off, but he is he's a couple years old and he's crying because he's in pain and suffering, and Ryan is just sitting there and just saying, "Just go to sleep, please stop crying, please stop crying." And it's just a lot. It's just the whole ride through is just, it's a lot. It's immensely draining, and it is just kind of a terrible feeling, and you feel terrible for these people, and they do a lot to try to spin positive lights on it, and it's on some things, and it's just it's a beautiful game. Like I said, it is a draining game from an emotional standpoint, where I didn't want to do anything for a long time after I played this game. I just kind of sat there for probably 30 minutes. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to feel like playing a game. I didn't feel like watching TV. I just kind of want to sit there and just feel it. But yeah, it's an experience that I don't know. It's not going to be a fun one. This is not going to be a game you look back on with fond memories. But it is an experience that I think that if, as a gamer, if you are more open to a lot of different games, if you maybe enjoy some of the interactive storytelling games or are curious about it, I highly recommend just checking it out. Because it's a memorable one. It's one I'm probably, as far as a gaming experience goes, one I'm never going to forget, at least not for a long time. I'm happy I played it, but it was a horrible feeling, and it's nowhere near what the family went through. Obviously, it's just a lot of the stories that you're hearing, and then like them trying to explain to the rest of their kids why they're moving to California, or why their son who has cancer can't talk when he's 4 years old, and the 1-year-old child can speak. And just a lot of the ways it's told I don't know what it is, but it's an experience that, like I said, I think a lot of people should experience. But yeah, that is kind of what I've been playing this week. Sorry to hit it on a kind of a downer there. But I didn't want to start with this. I didn't want to try to move on to something else with that. It's just, that Dragon Cancer. I think a lot of people should check it out. At least, at the very least, check out maybe a Twitch stream of it or something. Or there's I'm sure a lot of Let's Plays out there. But yeah, it's a powerful game. That is, like I said, what I've been playing to try to move on from that. Gabe, do you have a retro game of the week for us?
All right, for this week, I'm kind of like be kind of thinking about it as of late, like what type of actual retro game that I may want to try to just talk about and stuff like that. It's just kind of hard though, because I haven't really been playing a lot of retro games as of late. But let's see, I do know that there is a particular game like on the Game Boy Advance that I have like yet to talk about really much in depth, and that's Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Well, actually, it's not more or less a Game Boy Advance game. It started as a Game Boy Advance game, but I played these games on the DS. So, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney is a court, it's kind of like a court, like a text-based, like sort of adventure. Basically, you play the role as Phoenix Wright, who's this rookie lawyer that has to defend these clients of his and try to prove that they're innocent. Well, everything else is like piling on the like his clients and stuff, like saying that they're guilty because of this and this and this or something like that, or what they think is like really big evidence and stuff like that against them, and just the minute details that you have to find in these court cases actually proves a lot of them innocent and all this other shit. And I really do like the Phoenix Wright games in general, especially the original one, because a lot of it plays very much inside the character development of characters like Phoenix Wright or his assistant like Maya Fey and stuff like that, where you actually get to like I said, you have to encounter like a lot of different types of like characters throughout this entire game, and you have to find little adequate things. Like there may be one court case where you have to solve the death of somebody, or another one where you have to like find out like how this dude died or something like that on this kids TV show or something like that. And a lot of it is very riveting and very complex, to the point where you may not even think this situation could have been any other different or something like that until you find the couple of details that start to add up that gives you sort of that mental aha moment where it's like, oh my god, that's what if this and this and this happened. All of a sudden you go through and it's exactly what you were thinking about, and sort of this like big old mind altering idea that it actually turns out to be. And those type of experiences are what make the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games really fun. But yeah, a lot of the gameplay experience that I've had with them is I picked them up randomly, like from GameStop during my college years, and I played through them in reverse, from Trials and Tribulations to Justice for All, and then all of a sudden the original one, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. That was not the intention I had with these games at first, because normally you start from the first game and build yourself up. But I started with the third one, and it was incredibly strong, and probably the best one out of the three, in my honest opinion. But just encountering characters like Phoenix Wright, or like Miles Edgeworth, or Gumshoe, and stuff like that, the bumbling detective that gives you little hints here and there and stuff. It is very fantastic in terms of like story explanation stuff, where there are court cases that'll take you sometimes a half an hour to go through, and then there's others that may take an hour and a half of you going through like a court scene and stuff like that. Honestly, if you have a 3DS, try tracking down these Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games. It sort of plays almost like how you would on certain other games that I've explained before, like in past podcasts, like say Danganronpa, for instance. Danganronpa was like a mix between sort of the Phoenix Wright Trials, mix that in with like Battle Royale in terms of the student development stuff, whereas Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney and stuff is kind of loosely sort of like Danganronpa, only without the kids killing one another, obviously.
That would have made Phoenix Wright so much better.
Oh, I know.
Children were dying.
But, yeah, that's my retro game of the week, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney for the Nintendo DS. Overruled.
Oh, damn, touche. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening this week. If you want to hear more from us, we are on Facebook. We have a page and group. It is GenGaming Podcast on there. So like and join us on there. It's a good place to go when we post the shows. Also, want more of that on Twitter. We are at GenGaming Pod. So follow us on there. And on Twitch, we are at GenGaming Podcast. So I think follow us on there. Can't remember. And also on YouTube.
Follow us?
Follow us? Maybe subscribe. I don't know if you can subscribe there. Just click the button. And then on YouTube is Generation Gaming. So subscribe to us on there, and the show goes up on there. The podcast does. So if you're listening to us on YouTube, please press like right there. Press the like button right around Gable's junk button.
Oh, come on, not my junk.
Let's find. All right, find my junk. Whatever. We'll put our junks together and just click like at the same time. But anyways, yeah. So do that, and if you're listening to us on iTunes, leave us a review. It would be great. Helps us kind of expand. More people can see us. Leave preferably 5 stars. 4 is fine as well. Helps us out. Whatever is fine. And we will, if you give us a nice little review, we will shout you on the show. So scratch our back, scratch yours. So thank you guys once again so much for listening. I was your host. I was Tyler.
And I have been Colonel Gables. Until next time, everybody, GG.
Alan, see you. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Yar.
Yar. Bye.
Oh, see you.